I have many things to get out here today, perhaps. And I feel I will be doing, after this one, a specific global people's monetary system one, because it is directly interconnected to the Ascension. However, I might, or I may, and I wish to focus on some highlights of that afterwards. But for the most part, this one, I wish to keep it mostly on the energetics, the Ascension, and everything we're doing. So, I was going to write down some points for today's discussion. I got 3 wrote down, and the divine wind kept blowing the paper, so I just go with the flow and just let it come out. So let's get right back to the energies. Yes, the energies is heightened, but very importantly, where the timelines are separating significantly again, and I put out a post about this yesterday. It's very important once again that with your choice for the future, it is your intention and it is your alignment. So having said this, the choices do need to be made with the new reality you wish to experience, and also marginally and incrementally letting go of the old paradigm. It is destructing. And a few examples of that, I'll say with the US, your rent, in places has tripled in the last year. Let's jump to the UK. In Europe, your prices of food are rising beyond even the cost of living. So this is all part of the destruction of the old that is squeezing and suppressing everyone to make a choice for the new. And this is the Ascension. This is what's occurring. It's occurring for reasons. And this is the reasons why everyone has to do their inner work to be in alignment and to be different from what they were before, so they can fit in a new world where we're no longer this deceit, the fraudulent systems, the anger, the disharmony, the misery. We're no longer that exists up here. So each one needs to be purified within to no longer act in those old negative and non-virtuous ways. So we are in what you call the rapture, if you will. It is the upliftment in consciousness and in heart and soul all together. And this is what all of you have been doing your inner work for, so that you acclimatize the physical vessel and your physical state and your way of being to fit into the new. And it's all assured. Ones will say you have a free will. In reality, you don't. This ascension is going forward, and everyone becomes aligned with it sooner or later that are going forward. And you really, and the truth of it is, you don't have a choice of free will with it to say no. We are going to the good place, and it takes the certain individual responsibility to get there, and also to know that this is true. No longer are we going to be living in a savage paradigm. We are going to the new, and from this new, ones like we continue going forward into the other dimensions. But this is the deliverance as well. So we get the human souls upon the planet to the state of that harmony and deliverance, then we are free to go on. Our mission here, for the most part, the ones, if you will, with the ground crew that are doing similar work I am to facilitate this time, which is over 4 million of us now, but that number is growing. Then we move on to other dimensional experiences and realities. The physical vessel is being upgraded constantly to be able to acclimatize into the other dimensions. And it's being done for a reason. With that, your physical vessels that you have, upon becoming the crystalline base, but also getting back into your co-creator power, you can keep these physical vessels alive indefinitely. And yes, you can reverse the aging process and keep them in perfect shape. So it's all of these things are very true, and I share them with all of you, even though some of you that's watching this may be skeptical or may not believe it. That doesn't matter, because what does matter is that this is a truth, what I'm saying, and many can attest to that. And perhaps if you're skeptical and don't believe it now, one of the important things to do is to keep your consciousness open, because I can assure you, if you're watching this video, at some point you are going to come to that eureka moment and that realization that the things I speak about you can do as well. And as we say, perhaps even more. Many of us have many gifts activated at this time, but to my knowing, right now where we are at upon the planet, not one has all of their gifts activated. And there are reasons for that, because it takes all of us and the unity as well to put the pieces and the gifts together, with all this great sharing on a higher level as we advance forward. So the Ascension is divinely regulated, that really no one goes first, we all go together. So there is a regulation, if you will, on that to assure it. But also, I need to say, the duration of time that it takes from us to get from here to the 5D harmonic reality, that is not a definite time, meaning the duration can be shortened very quickly, and yes, there can be a flashpoint as well. But we are getting so close, and the best way to look at this is that we are in a flash now. You just don't know it, because time doesn't exist for us. You are in a flash constantly, and there can be flashes within the flash. So it's definitely occurring, and it's the great flash of change. So these things are being validated more and more every day, being confirmed. They cannot be denied nor refuted. And we are indeed in those miraculous times where it's been seeded through prophecy, through scripture, and what have you, to cover it. It's prevalent everywhere through ancient, let's say, spiritual knowledge and teaching, including the belief systems. So it is there. It has been seeded, and we are in this time, which is so beautiful. So actually, while you see all the despair and disarray occurring, in the reality, that has to occur. It's the chaos. It is the destruction of the old, assuring, let's say, with miserable savage events to destruct it. So by people seeing and experiencing it, then they know the evil, and they believe it, and they know also at the same time that the good is upon the planet, and the good plan, the deliverance, is here right now, and everyone in the physical can make that physical material choice to be aligned with it. as we create the new world. And of course, that's GPMS, what is the divine deliverance. It is my main part of the mission upon the planet right now, is to assure that this goes forward. And this is why you see me out just speaking openly about this, because it is guaranteed and it's where we're taking humanity. So it is a very important. So let's just jump quickly to the photonic light, the emissions from our sun. That's begun to pick up again. We had an M1 flare yesterday that was of significance. It is also energizing the surface and assisting with activations for us to, in the least, anchor in the full 5D energetic grid. Now, the 5D energetic grid has touched down in places. It touches down, if you're an advanced enlightened one, it will touch down to the surface a lot of times in your reality because of the light that you are. But having said this, when the deliverance for humanity, which is very close with the GPMS, once that is energized enough, and we're getting very close to it, then that brings down the entire grid, because it is the new paradigm. It is the new reality, the new harmonious one for all of the human souls upon the planet. And this is your harmonious, let's put it, the harmonious future is now at hand, to keep it simple. So, having said this, if some of you are wondering what I'm speaking about, GPMS, GPMS.world, you can go there and register your accord and your agreement in this material time while you're awakened to join with the others. And it's being done this way to deliver and transition humanity quickly into the higher 5D state, where they heal much more rapidly. The ventures in the past upon the planet, you would be billions of years, eons, healing ones as you were doing. So the deliverance takes all of the stress and the suppression off of every individual, and then it creates the energetic environment where they heal very quickly. Also, because the higher consciousness is in this energetic 5D environment, so they can all very quickly be put into a 5D state. Now, we have the vanguard, the pioneers, all of you that have been working tediously over the years, getting the information and getting the tools and the knowledge out there for ones to heal themselves. So having said that, right now the planet is saturated with all the techniques and modalities and tools to advance ones very quickly. And as we eliminate the financial stress, which was the main factor of suppression and control upon the planet, what it does, it releases the consciousness to begin to look at self, where many were working hours and hours just to survive. Their focus and their conscious attention would be on that survival. But by us doing this, no longer do their attention need to be on their existence and their survival. It can very quickly go in so they can do the work upon themselves and do the change. So currently, Femke and I are on and Brother Lee is here visiting us as well. We are currently on a major ley line, a 5D ley line. So during this time, because we are tapped into the 5D and also tapped into this fourth dimension that we're in. There's no longer a third dimensional space. We are now in the 4D, doing the final finished work to take humanity to the 5D. However, we are 5D state of being and beyond. But the lowest dimension is the fourth dimension right now. So having said that, we are integrating the fourth dimension with more and more of the energetic codes and activations to awaken many more very quickly to prepare. So they began to do their tests and their inner work very quickly to acclimatize for the new reality we have created here for them, which is right at the doorstep. And the transitioning for that it's already begun with collecting the voice and making the choice and becoming aligned with the new harmonious reality and deliverance of what GPMS is. Now, having said this, with GPMS, someone will say, you know, the acronym is the Global People's Monetary System. So with some, you know, because of the programming in the deep fear imprint, if they see the word global, they go, ooh, that's global elitists or what have you, or NWO. But by no means it's the total opposite. It is the global people, which is the 99%. But the word global is used to show the ones that are in fear of the globalists, that is the 1%, that there is actually a much bigger force that has the opposite intentions in mind. So you have the global elites, which are way less than 1%. Then you have the global people, which are the 99%. So you had a globalist, nefarious agenda, a malevolent agenda. Then you have the people, the global peoples, which has the harmonious, benevolent intent and agenda. So actually, you know, with this, you could say, yes, indeed, the NWO or what have you, the elitists had an agenda. However, they underestimated the ones they were perpetrating that upon, the 99%. And the 99% of the people, of the good-hearted people, have an agenda, they have a plan, and their agenda is to free all of humanity and place all of humanity in a beautiful place of love and healing and abundance and much more. So with that, with the global elite, if you will, they have lost. It's already over for them, and we are in the transitioning, getting the people all on board for the new. And you know, the most powerful thing with the global, one of the most powerful things with the global people's monetary system, which is the deliverance, is that what we have done is we've activated and placed the store of wealth, rightfully so, back within each individual with the intrinsic value, which is unlimited. Now, this is important because no other system upon the planet can contend with this invaluable, priceless, unlimited wealth. You have gold outside, it's owned by someone else, and it only has a limited value. But importantly, it can be controlled, and you could be controlled if you put your value into the gold. So what the divine deliverance and guarantee and assurance is that divinely the worth is the individual, which is unlimited. And it also, what it does, it creates wealth parity on the world. in the world, it creates equality, that everyone is sharing in abundance and that there is no lack. So again, nothing, this is the ultimate, most superior divine force, and it's omnipotent, and it's guaranteed, it's ascertained, and nothing prevents this. For this is the planetary ascension for humanity. It's divine. The prayers have been answered, but it was also written to occur at this time. So to let you know, it is happening. So, you know, on the individual level, what many of you may have found recently, we are also having jumps in time. For instance, it was recorded a few days ago that there was approximately 1 hour to 1.5 hours that we just jumped ahead. We skipped that much time and jumped ahead, and there's been various reports of others experiencing that. And one of the reasons why this occurs, this like other distortions, are all for good reasons now. Because of the empowered ones, you're becoming stronger and stronger every day. You're having more of an impact and influence upon reality. And what you're actually doing when you see an hour that you jump ahead, that is indicating a huge shift forward has occurred. And there is that displacement in time, meaning that because we are not constant in time and we're dealing with reality, time, space, and everything else included, that, you know, out of our goodwill and for what we are, and at taking things forward that's in alignment with the new, what we're creating, you create flashpoints, and you also affect time with it, and this is very real. So having said this, it's been recorded again about a week ago, significant flashes in the sky. Several, at least of us, saw it, but I know it was more widespread, and it's part of the activations, and also it's part of the glitching of the old reality going into the new. So you're having the flashes. It's all very real. So on an individual level, to assist everyone, you no longer, it is your choice, you know, of course, but you learn quicker when you understand that you need to have the purity of the heart, and do always the virtuous things, always act in the highest. None of the old lesser ways, let's say, of bullying or and being selfish, none of these serve. They're not part of the new. It's all community with this. And of course, it's sharing and having the mutual respect for each other and all of the moral and ethical things. And it doesn't involve deceit, fraudulent actions, if you will. None of that exists here in the future, where we are going and what we are creating. So it's assured on the individual level, divinely, that you're subjugated to any, you are subjugated to test, to assure and give you the opportunity to transition your old way of being to the highest. And when you do that and choose the highest and most virtuous, and don't get caught in the drama, if you will, or get drugged down by the negative test, then you master it, and these tests disappear, and your reality begins to take on a new reflection of you, which is higher, virtuous, harmonious. Because anything non-virtuous is disharmony, and we are leaving disharmony behind. So it's so important that you know it's an individual process to do this, to acclimatize also with the new, And having said this, many of what ones call ascension symptoms during this great time with the physical vessel, many of your physical symptoms are alleviated when you do the right things as well. Um, and the reason why that is, if you're still doing non-virtuous, disrespectful acts or acting out of anger, you are becoming more stronger, and you'll make yourself a negative magnet for that, and you begin to attract a lot of density and negativity. Then also that gets reflected into your physical and begins to create pain, because it's dis-ease and it's disharmony. So it is the opposite of where we're going. So you may be inundated with a lot of severe symptoms, and these symptoms can be prolonged. Now, having said this, there is also ascension symptoms that are at times unavoidable. So, meaning that you could be in your full virtue and doing everything right and pure, and still you have some discomfort. But this is caused from bodily upgrades. So you are feeling as your physical vessels being upgraded, because there's so much work being done internally. It's also partially reflected into the energetics within your being, and gets reflected into your physical too. At these times, it's best when you need to lay down to rest, do that, and allow for the coding to integrate fully. And when you lay down and you don't resist it, if you become tired or if you feel dense, if you push against it, it prolongs your symptoms, and sometimes it'll even make you feel even worse. So the trick is to surrender to the divine ascension symptoms, move slow, rest, and allow it to integrate much quicker. The stiller you lay, by laying still, when there is codes and upgrades being delivered to the DNA to be integrated, they get integrated quicker when you're at a rest motion with this physical vessel. So it's instead of up and moving all around, so the codes, what's coming in, if they're coming in here and you're moving over there and then you move back, you can see how it doesn't get you. But if you're laying down right here and the codes are coming in, and they're coming in and they go in the body and they get integrated. But if you're moving here, the codes are not going to chase you, if you will. They're being applied more so directly from the sun right to the surface. But if you're moving around, you're going to miss the concentration of the codes, and you're going to lose some of the benefits. And the longer you're moving around, then it causes also the discomfort, and it causes the disharmony. So it's so important to know that. So we've been doing many activations here in not only in the Netherlands, the divine group of doing our activations physically, I believe, has grown here with these specific activations of perhaps 11, 12, or a dozen physically doing, contributing divinely importantly to these activations. And what I can say with that, more within the group, they are also seeing the confirmations, weeding out, if there ever was any doubt, weeding that all out for when you see the confirmations, you know that it is very real what we're doing, and it's so beautiful. So you're having more of your rainbow colors, if you will, in the skies, and we are working with all of the divine rays with these activations, and even much more. to keep that simple. So, having said that, yeah, we're keeping very busy doing good things, and the great news is we are ascending very rapidly. We are changing the reality very rapidly, and I again do not feel that it's very long, that it's very close at hand. And recent material physical indicators, if you will, upon the planet are also in alignment and suggesting that, especially as we see more of the unity of the light leaders that are forming as well, coming to the table with us. I am a divine leader of the world, if you will. I'm not the only one, but it's why I have this designation. It's why I am doing what I am doing with everything I do. But I am not the only one. There are, as I said, over 4 million presently of us divine leaders upon the planet that have been here for this time, for the ascension. So we are in the process of unity, and once we have all of us together acting as the one unit, then very quickly everything is taken forward. There are the divine leaders, and also there are the other divine souls that are ascending. And where we are going, there is the leaders to take ones there, but once we're there, you're all the leaders, and everyone is the teachers, and all of the knowledge is known. However, there has been a designated vanguard, if you will, of first wavers of the ascension, pioneers, if you will, to blast through all the energetic obstacles, prepare the path for the rest to come through. And this is what we're doing, and we're at this great time now of the unity upon the planet with the incarnate divine delegates to take humanity, the planet, into the full liberation and harmonic reality based on all of the good things: love, compassion, sharing, and comfort, and no misery. And also with this, very quickly, humanity transitions out of the requirement and the need for money at all. But also everything is happening congruently, is happening at the same time, meaning as we advance forward, also the new technologies are released, interaction with the benevolent ET races, if you will. So everything all happens very rapidly at once, but the main mission is to keep going forward with the strongest ones to build the base reality for the others to come into. So we go forward to create the stress-free reality, and the bigger the stress-free reality gets, the more impact it has on imploding the old. So that's why the unity is so important. There are divine leaders, divine guardians there, but there is not particularly one savior, if you will. We are all the saviors, and to do this all together. So each one of us are saviors, and you can look at it that you're a savior also to save yourself through your choices. And this is the way it's been designed, that all have pieces of the puzzle, and it takes the unity to bring all the pieces of the puzzle together to rapidly advance the layers. And it's been divinely coordinated and organized in that way to do it. And this is why it's also called a planetary ascension. It's not an individual ascension. And I know that if you're a master, an ascended master, if you will, or you considered yourself very enlightened, and you're still here upon the planet, or still in where you can see a lower reality outside of you, that's because we have a combined mission to do, to eradicate children starving and dying, and children in lack, and anyone in lack, anyone in misery. It's because we're here to transition very rapidly humanity out of those states. And again, we don't, I speak freely with this because it's truth. I don't need to explain myself as much as I do, as we do, and we do not need to show evidence of it. We do not need to validate or accreditate ourselves, for the signs are everywhere. They're in the sky, it's in the truth, it's in the voice, it's within us, and we know it. So it's important to keep the focus right now onto the new and getting this done as soon and as quick as possible. And this also means then you don't need to be distracted by the old paradigm with their old legal systems and all of that drama. You don't need to be a part of that. By uniting, it all just goes to the wayside. You don't need to put direct attention on it. When you put direct attention on it, what occurs, it keeps it alive and energized, and also it keeps one disempowered, because you're putting your power into a paradigm that is destructing, when you should be putting your power into the unity and the new reality, and that uplifts you individually, it energizes you, and you're on track. So you don't need to directly put your attention to fighting election results that have been rigged for millennia. It's the way it was. That's part of the old. In the new, there's not elections like that, and neither are they required. You have all of humanity working together and doing what is humane and morally and ethically correct. And because of the new monetary system, that will be a temporary monetary system, because humanity transitions out of the need of money at all. With that, there is no reason for any monetary crime, no reason for gain like in capitalism. All of your products that will be made very quickly will be made to last. They will not be made as part of a capitalism made to break and all this. So your new reality is here. All of the technology is already upon the planet to fully and adequately facilitate this new reality. And plus there is more technology is being released all the time, but there's also significant technology that is on the verge of being released as well. And of course, even technology that is just so wow that you did not maybe knew before that it existed. So I rambled on, I believe, enough for this one. So the Ascension update, your ticket to paradise, it's right here. It's the deliverance. It is GPMS, and it's what you and all of the sovereign communities have been preparing for this time, doing their base work. And I'm mixing a little bit of GPMS in this, but it is, I need to, because it's part of the Ascension, to connect the dots so everyone gets it and understands what is actually transpiring upon the planet. So as we know, the planet is not in a doom and gloom scenario. It's actually the opposite, and it took the doom and gloom to create the new. So The phoenix has already risen, GPMS, if you will, from the ashes. The new is being created. It's here for everyone to see, to make that choice. Uh, so it's all divinely assured as well. And the doom and gloom, is part of the process. And it's also, if you will, the divine comedy with it, that the old with restrictions and what have you is just so absurd, and the nefarious and malevolent intent upon ones, it's so blatant and becoming so much more blatant, that ones don't want any more of that old. So the new is here, and we make the choice, and it's simple, and we go forward, and we have many happy ones that are part of it now. And what I need to say too, because GPMS is a divine, pure vehicle, by registering your accord with this divine energetic vehicle, then you are connecting it more so into the energetics of that as well. And it does have the energetic effect of uplifting one in the moment, and also aligning your reality in alignment with the unity, harmony, and these sort of things as well. Now, of course, we do have ones that enter that, let's say, maybe still in places of lack, but they're where they need to be, because the support, energetic support by others come there, and let's say they need to be, they're going forward with GPMS, but some needs to be in, let's say, a certain place of lack, for if they have so much comfort, then they become complacent. So there is that divine incentive to push them forward, keep going, to get this done. Do not be distracted by comfort, and go into complacency. You need to be most free, and that way you're most powerful to take things forward. And we know this, and this is how it is working to get it done. So it's beautiful. Having said that, this is V for victory and peace, and also let's say the Holy Grail as well, the divine feminine. This is unity together. It is unity. It's all of us. It's occurring. And these winks come from Father. They do. And in bit from Rick. Yeah. So, love, light, much gratitude. Have an amazing morning, day, night, wherever you may be. And we got this, and we're just so close now to actually being in it. So it's being actualized. So this is more than a hope. It is hope being actualized. It's a reality, and nothing prevents us. So have no stress. Just know what's going on. Keep informed, and we're all going forward. So have a beautiful day, and thank you so much. And I love all of you, and we love all of us together. So have a great one. Thank you. Bye now.